Hey everyone, welcome back. In this Excel tutorial, we are going to learn how to use trim function in Excel. Now, trim function is very useful function and I'll explain you with example why you need to use trim function and how it can help you to clean up your text and data within Excel with very ease. Right. So here, if you see, this is some of the text that I have got here, which is basically having lots of spaces here, right? So say, for example, there are so many spaces in between and this is not properly formatted, right? So basically, if I say, for example, I want to remove all the spaces, what is the option? You can't keep doing or removing the spaces manually, right? So that's very tedious job. So that's where trim function in Excel is very helpful option. Now what trim function will do is it will help you to remove all the extra spaces between the words of the text that you see here. So say, for example, there is lorem and then there are a couple of spaces there, right? Between lorem and ipsum. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? Similarly, there are many more spaces. So that trim function, if we start typing in trim, you will see that trim removes all spaces from a text string except for single space between words. So between words, there will be only one single space, and that makes sense, right? Because we do not need extra spaces between two words in a sentence. So that's what trim function will do. We simply select trim function and then select the text that we want to trim. So we'll simply select the cell which contains this text. We can type B6 as well wherever our text is, or we can select the cell, right? So say, for example, our text is here in the column B and 6th row. So it has selected that automatically, right? Close the bracket and hit enter. And now you will see that the difference between these two texts, right? So this particular text has been trimmed and all the extra spaces between the words have been removed, right? Which is what you will be doing with the Excel data if you're not getting, if you haven't got proper set of data or proper data from within the Excel that has been shared with you, right? So this will help you to quickly format and quickly make your data clean within Excel. Now, if I want to clean all of this data as well, simply select this particular formula cell where we have used the trim function. In the right hand side, hover over until you get this dark plus sign and then drag and drop to the cells until where you want to apply this particular formula, right? So you'll see that formula has been copied and it is referencing to the relevant or to the cell which contains the text against it, right? So here, if I have selected, it is referring to B6, and as we copied this formula, it has copied the reference of the cells as well, right? So because this formula is in the cell C7, so it is referring to the B7 as similar to what it is doing here, right? So this formula is referring to B6, then we copied the formula here in C7, it is referring to B7 text, and it has cleaned up all the text and removed all the extra spaces, right? Now the next important thing is, once you are done with this editing, right, you need to basically say, for example, I need to copy this whole text which has been edited into other column, right? But if I simply copy and paste, let me move these cells here, you will see the formula got copied as well, right? So what we need to do is, once we copy, let me remove this, once we paste the text there, so let me select all of this, copy and paste. So once you paste it, go to these paste options, okay, and make sure that you paste not as just Control V and Control C and Control V, but you have to choose for the values, only paste the values, right? So simply say select this paste values, and that will remove the reference of the formula, okay? Now why you need to do that? Because you have removed the spaces between the text. So say, for example, if you say, for example, this is already formatted, right? And you want to remove this text now because you know that this text has been formatted, okay? So if I simply delete that, now you will see that the formula or the trim is not able to find the reference because we have removed the cell which has that text, right? So that's why once you use the formulas to work on the text or anything, you need to make sure, if it is a text, you have to copy that formatted text somewhere else as the value and not the formula, so that if your formula or the actual value, which is the reference value, gets deleted, you still have the formatted value, right? So the best way is to basically just after editing this, you simply copy the whole thing, right? And then paste in the source column itself. Okay, sorry, to copy the whole thing just here and paste as value, right? So just select this V here and you will see now this particular parent cell is having the formatted values, and then this is the formula which we can simply go ahead and delete it, right? So this is how you are going to use trim function and not lose the data. If there is any referencing to the cells, that will be retained. Other option is you can save your existing file, right? You can save your existing Excel sheet and then play around with the copied Excel sheet and until you get this whole data properly, and then use the formatted data by removing the references of the cells within the trim function. Okay, so this is briefly how you are going to use trim function within Excel. I hope this was helpful. Thank you very much for watching.